Problem gambling occurs when gambling that used to be a form of recreation, a pastime, or just something fun to do with friends becomes a problem. It can be a problem in many ways: emotional, financial, relationship, work, or time management issues. Most people who seek treatment tell us they are not sure why they can't control their gambling. They're not sure why when they try to cut down or stop, they are unable to, and it leaves them fearful. Problem gambling is different for senior members of the community in several ways. Seniors begin to gamble for different reasons than the rest of the population, and they have special factors which can put them at risk for developing problem gambling. Seniors have a need and a desire for social interaction. Many seniors are retired and have more time on their hands. Seniors also gamble to relieve boredom, loneliness, and isolation. Sometimes seniors gamble to get away from the problems and concerns they may be experiencing in their lives, such as illness, loss of a loved one, and grief. Some seniors may have physical or mental illness or a cognitive impairment that put them at risk of developing problem gambling. Older adults may not know that addiction is an illness and may not understand why they or their loved one are compelled to gamble or why it has become a problem. They are also very self-reliant and therefore less likely to seek help or know where to seek help. Seniors are highly impacted by problem gambling because they have less time, energy, and opportunity to recoup their financial, employment, and relationship losses than younger adults. The full cycle of problem gambling and recovery follows a distinct pattern that was identified by the late Dr. Robert Custer. During the winning phase, a gambler experiences big wins and starts to gamble more frequently and increase the amount of their bets.
I hit a royal flush one time playing a video poker machine, and I thought, boy, how great this was to win this much money with very little invested. And I thought I would be able to do this all the time.
I used to raise the ante a little bit more and bet a little bit more to make myself feel I was winning. If I won $50 or $100, it was pretty good when I first started.
Gambling to me was an excitement. It was something that interested me. It was a challenge. Every time I placed a bet or played with different cards or people, that I had the challenge to beat them, like in a sports complex, that you want to win the game. I didn't want to lose. I wanted to win constantly.
In the beginning, we would go out and gamble by playing the penny slot machines. It was more or less something social to do, entertainment.
Well, most of the time when I was gambling before it became a problem, I was always happy.
During the losing phase, gamblers begin borrowing money to gamble with, and their mood and personality begins to change, usually showing more irritability, restlessness, or withdrawing.
And I say, I'm only going to bet so much today, and if I lose this money, I'll quit. And the only thing it did, it got me to walk a lot, because as soon as I lost whatever I'd taken in, I'd walk back to the car and get some more. And eventually I'd go back to the car and take everything out that I had in the car.
Started now using credit cards in my own name. My wife and I had excellent credit. So to keep her from finding out what I was doing, I would go ahead and run up credit cards. But I was winning enough to be able to pay the credit card bills when they came in monthly. But then it got out of control to where I wasn't winning. I needed to use another credit card and then another credit card just to pay off the one previously, and it just got into a vicious circle.
And then he would change his story, and we would argue and fight, and then he would leave.
I think the most hopeless time I felt after gambling is when I lost the Christmas fund I was talking about earlier. It got to the point when I come home, what I was going to tell the wife, that I had lost all this money.
As the downward spiral of problem gambling continues, the desperation phase is marked by a dangerous time during which a problem gambler is no longer enjoying their gambling. They have a great deal of remorse about their actions, but they're unable to stop gambling on their own.
I felt it was hitting the bottom of the barrel, scratching everything I can get to get the money to gamble some more, because I want to continue gambling.
I used to take some time off work to go gambling and hide the fact that I was going to go gambling, because it was real tough. They would, I could get fired for it, but I never let on where I was going. I was always trying to cover my tracks.
Hitting bottom for problem gamblers may include feelings of hopelessness, increased problems with alcohol or other drugs, arrest, divorce, and finally thoughts or even attempts at suicide. Emotional breakdowns and withdrawal symptoms often occur.
I was trying to avoid lying to anybody, but when it came to my gambling and what I did, if I won or if I lost, I was lying all the time.
As the time went on, I got angrier and angrier and angrier till it became rage. And I would rage at him. And I would do it in front of the children. And it was very wrong of me to do that in front of the children.
We had a very serious argument, verbally, not physically, but it was to the point I figured, oh, all right, I'll take care of that. So I went out into my shop and decided that I will hang myself. I figured the shooting wouldn't work because it would have her pick up everything. So I got a rope and tied it with a noose like a Western nut, threw the rope over the rafter, and I felt low at that time. I figured I'd better ask my God and my understanding to forgive me what I was about to do. And I think that was the lowest, trying to attempt suicide.
Once a problem gambler has reached the bottom, professionals and family members may reach out with an intervention or whatever means available in the next critical phase. And this is when problem gamblers and their families come to realize that there is hope for them and that something can be done to treat their illness.
After that confrontation on that Sunday afternoon, we didn't speak the rest of the day. And in the morning, she left for work, and I was retired. And after I got up in the morning, I went into the restroom, and on the mirror, she had placed a phone number and a little note saying that she thought it was time that I addressed my gambling problem and to seek help. And there was a phone number there, and for me to call that phone number.
Were the ones I was really making it so unbearable for them, they didn't want to be around me anymore. Like some of the people I worked with, and some of the friends at church, because I was capable of lying to any of them. And finally it took the turn that I just had to do something different.
And she pointed out the ways I could get help to go into Gamblers Anonymous meetings and reaching out to say that I was a compulsive gambler. And that was a big thing, admitting to myself that I had a problem. I didn't think I had a problem. I thought I could control it by myself.
When I went into recovery, the counselor at the treatment center my husband was in told me I was doing all the wrong things for all the right reasons. And that she pointed out a lot of the things that I was doing that were very detrimental to our relationship and to both of our recoveries. And she directed me towards some 12-step programs, and I started going to them. And there I was able to talk about what was going on.
Originally, I thought that I was the only person in the whole United States that was a compulsive gambler and did things the way I did.
During the rebuilding phase, gamblers begin to see that not only is there help and hope, but they have more quality family time, less impatience, and their moods begin to improve.
First thing that the program did for me was to make me be honest.
After I started getting clarity back in my life, in my mind, I could see that these programs were going to work for me and that I needed to embrace and accept them as help.
Boy, recovery is something great. Since I've been in recovery, for example, my wife and I have gone closer together. We've established a relationship that, like in the beginning, it's like a new honeymoon.
Today I have tools for living, and I'm living my life today to the fullest, and I'm enjoying life.
For recovering problem gamblers, the growth phase represents a whole new way of life that is 180 degrees from what they used to have. Treatment providers tell problem gamblers that once a person has accepted that they are a pathological gambler, they cannot go backward, but can only move forward in recovery. Essentially, for the rest of their lives, they will be in the growth phase.
Take the book that we have and read it thoroughly and follow the rules and regulations on it, because it's the only thing that can get us to think the way we're supposed to be thinking. Because when we're gambling, our thinking is really screwed up.
It's very important that everybody has support, because without that support, you're alone and you just can't make it on your own. You have to have somebody to help you in the times when you're feeling down or you're feeling like you can't make it.
I can only say that the two programs that I attend, the Problem Gambling Center and GA, have saved my life. And when there wasn't hope, I found hope through the members that I've met, the support that I get. I have a sponsor in these programs. I have mentors. I have people that have walked this path long before I have, and they are sharing their knowledge and wisdom with me.
I have my family back again. I have people I can talk to in recovery, and it just seems to be a better life.
If you believe that you or a senior friend or family member may have a gambling problem, it is very important to seek help early in the cycle by calling the Problem Gamblers Helpline listed here, or by accessing the resources listed in the booklet that accompanies this film. For anyone exhibiting the warning signs of problem gambling, there is hope and there is help through treatment.